This is the Flipping Junkie podcast, episode 34. Welcome to the Flipping Junkie podcast. My name is Danny Johnson, former software developer turned house flipper, flipping hundreds of houses. Each week, we bring you interviews, strategies, stories, and motivation to help you get started flipping houses and on your way to becoming your own boss and achieving financial freedom. Thanks for spending time with me today. Now let's get to it. And welcome back to the Flipping Junkie podcast. I really appreciate you listening to the podcast. I know there's a lot of other real estate investing podcasts to listen to, and I really appreciate you choosing to listen to ours. So thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please do so on iTunes. That really helps us out a lot, and I appreciate it. And what I'm going to do today is it's going to be a little bit different. We're not going to have an interview with anybody today. What I wanted to do is just basically talk about this podcast series that we're doing. It's sort of like a free online course, really, because we're starting from the beginning and going through the different steps necessary, like a course would, for people to be able to get into flipping houses and real estate investing. And then also, if you're already flipping houses, to improve your business and everything like that. So it's a really cool series. I was, when we started the podcast, I was basically interviewing people, and each episode was covering a lot of different things, and it's sort of, I just didn't like the way it flowed. It seemed sort of random, and you might pick up a thing or two here and there, but I felt like we could do better. I think we did something that was a little bit different. I hadn't seen this really done in other podcasts, at least not for any length of time, to have this whole series done in order from the beginning, starting with motivation and mindset, and we had some great episodes. With that, we had Miracle Morning author Hal Elrod on the show, Brant Phillips talking about pillars of power, all that kind of stuff, Marcus Bologna with goal setting, Jason Bible with different some topics. I think I had Jason on twice, and I'll be having him on next week also to talk about finding private lenders, so that'll be really cool. Jason's a good friend of mine, and let me see. After that, we went into building your team, and we talked about, whether you should get your agent's license, how to find good attorneys, title companies, real estate agents, working with realtors, contractors, and even using VAs with Robert Nickel. So it's pretty cool. If you haven't been following along, if you're new to the podcast, please go back and check out, I think I titled them with, the first ones we're starting with in brackets, Foundation. So if you see a title for a podcast that says Foundation, that's that part of the series. Then the second one was team building. So we went through two basically sections of this series, and we'll be moving into funding, because I know that's a big issue a lot of people have with getting into this business, is they just don't know where they're going to get the money to buy these houses and fix them up and sell them. So we'll be talking about that. That'll be in the next part of this series. Really excited to get into that section. And then what I figure I'm going to do is go into analyzing deals after that, and then talk about generating leads and finding deals and negotiating and moving forward that way. So it'll be funding, being able to find ways to be able to buy these houses, and then looking at how you would analyze the deals, and then starting with marketing and things like that, so that whenever you have leads coming in, you'll know how to analyze the deals, and we'll cover how to talk with motivated sellers and all that kind of good stuff. And so what I want to do is I also would like to just kind of know about what you want to hear about. And, if there's something that I missed maybe in the motivation mindset or team building that you feel like fit in there, but I've maybe missed it somehow, feel free to contact me. You can reach me at danny@flippingjunkie.com. That's my email address, is danny@flippingjunkie.com. And let me know what you want to hear about. Let me know what you're struggling with. Even if it's something you feel like maybe is further in the series, go ahead and email me, because I want to make sure I cover those topics that are important to you, because I don't want to miss something that's important to you. And it's, especially if it's something you don't feel like is covered much anywhere else on other podcasts or on websites or anything like that. So no matter how advanced or how simple that may be, don't hesitate to contact me, danny@flippingjunkie.com. And the other thing I wanted to reach out to you guys for was, if you have anybody in mind that you would like to have me interview for certain topics. So if you know of somebody that I haven't interviewed yet, that's an expert in a certain topic that you want to hear about, please email me at danny@flippingjunkie.com and let me know who that is and what topic you'd like me to interview them about. And I'll reach out to them. If you have contact information for them, that'd be great too. If you send that along, make it easier for me to contact them. And then I'll try my best to have them on the show. I always enjoy meeting other investors as well. So that's I really look forward to that and hope that you guys reach out to me with people that you want to hear on the show. And then the next thing is, would you like to be on the show? So maybe you are an investor or even just getting started and you want to be interviewed to talk about some of the things that you've gone through, some of the hurdles that you faced and things like that. And also just to hear your stories. If you're experienced or new, it doesn't matter. We've all got good stories to share, and I enjoy hearing them, so do other people. And I do want to include more from people that aren't out there all over the internet or on other podcasts, new people to hear that have different insights and different points of view. So if you would like to be on the show, feel free to contact me also by email, danny@flippingjunkie.com. And, once again, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I really do appreciate it. And, we've been growing steadily, getting more listeners. And, that what really helps with that is if you subscribe on iTunes and leave a rating and review. So if you've been listening to the show and you really enjoy it and you want to see it keep going and having more and more episodes, please leave me a rating and review on iTunes. And I appreciate those of that have already done that for me and for the podcast. If you're not sure how that works or how to do that, I do have a page on the website at flippingjunkie.com/rating. Let me double check that real quick. I think that's flippingjunkie.com/rate. Okay, so it's rate. flippingjunkie.com/RATE. That'll show you really quickly how to go in there and leave a rating and review. So I appreciate that, and come back next week for an episode about finding private money. It's a great way. It's one of my best favorite ways of funding these deals, getting better terms. You get lower interest rates and better terms through private lenders than you typically do through hard money lenders and things like that. So be sure to check in next week. Really looking forward to the episode with my friend Jason Bible. And I was just on his radio show in Houston, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit as well. So have a great week, guys, and talk to you next week.